Good evening, all.
G'day, g'day. Ads and Tex here from Unity Trading Group. Thanks for tuning in. No matter where you are, I hope you're doing all right. Doing all right. Lockdown continues here in Melbourne. Let's get to the other end of this. We were just saying how good it would be to catch up for a
Yeah,
coffee or just to do anything but stare
yeah,
at these screens and stare at these charts for a bit.
absolutely, it would, man. I can't wait for for lockdown to be lifted. It just,
Get me out of here.
yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. Saying a little bit more positive is BTC, LTC, F, a couple of the majors, which we'll have a look at tonight. But obviously, that big drop down from 53, we're sitting at a pretty relevant area of demand at the moment. Ads and someone, I'll let you explain where you think BT is headed because I agree with you wholeheartedly. But one thing that was interesting today, and which I'll reiterate again, is people in the Discord saying, I've set a buy at this level, or I'm looking to jump in at, and this is no criticism of them, but saying, I've jumped in at this level, like, should I jump in now? Is it, should I wait until it gets a little bit lower? And the same answer that we give every single time that works in every single one of these conditions is just a healthy or a well thought out dollar cost averaging strategy, because we can sit here and we can say, yes, this demand zone is relevant and 42 is probably an area of interest at the moment for a lot of people before a potential move back to the upside. And, rather than trying to catch the 42 bottom or the 40K bottom, whatever it is, employ this dollar cost averaging strategy, set your buys, you walk away, and it makes trading like this a lot less stressful because too many people are concerned with catching an exact dollar amount or selling in an exact dollar amount. You take profits on the way up, and you can dollar cost average on the way down. So keep that in mind and ask questions inside the Discord if you want to know a little bit more about that. Perhaps we'll do an episode one day on employing a simple dollar cost averaging strategy, because it's very simple and it makes things a lot less less stressful. Ads.
Yeah, absolutely does, and that's usually, well, that no, I can't say usually. That's 100% the way that I, do things, because
100%.
it's you just set your levels, your relative levels compared to the price that you're currently looking at, and then you say, okay, this is a relevant level, this is a relevant level, this is a relevant level. I'll set buys, all the way down to get an average price of here, and then I'll be ready for the next, major swing to the upside. That's pretty much as far as it goes. But anyway. BTC. So we've been speaking about this for the last couple of days, and of course, late into last week as well. We discussed the drop from 53 down to our most relevant level of demand that we see running across the right-hand side of the chart. And last night during our update, I did speak about this level being absolutely pulverized now, and the only way that it can go, or the only way that I see it moving, is to the more relevant level of demand, which is down below here at 41. We are seeing some sort of movement on the indicators, whether that be the RSI steamroller, but not enough to really give us a definitive validation that we're moving to the upside. So we are still down, making those lower highs, and we are moving in this sort of pattern. These sort of patterns here tend to break to the upside, if I'm not wrong, Ty. They do, sometimes break back this way, or you can even break to the downside, but typically they do break to the upside. So depending on if we do have that pattern play out over the next couple of days. But if we're talking about, most relevant levels or pivot levels or even levels of liquidity, we are still, aiming for around that 42, 41,000 mark, I think, for the immediate term. Unless we can, break above this pattern and continue and retest this pivot up the top here at 52, 53.
Yeah, and I like I said before, I wholeheartedly agree with that, and I think also a lot of people are looking at that 42K level, or that 42 to 40K level is a pretty relevant level of demand. I think if we go out to the daily or on that 4-hour candle ads and put our volume profile on there, it probably would become pretty evident where the point of control is and where the next levels of liquidity lie. And unfortunately, you do need you do need a premium account to be able to use this tool. But when it's used right, you can see very much down here where ads has his demand is really the start of these high volume nodes, or these these areas of buying and selling. So where we sit right now for this sort of this level here, which the data is capturing, if ads will move in and move out, it would capture different areas of data and spit out different information. But you can see here this red line, which is called our point of control. That's the highest amount of trading volume for that particular level, or this zone that we are looking at. And then really below this sort of 44K level, we have this volume chasm, and we can kind of see the drop there is pretty significant, because there's not a lot of information here, or not a lot of buying or selling action going on to tell us that it would be picked up in that level. So whether, again, you would make, like what Ad said, you would want to look at maybe averaging down, looking at where these high volume nodes are, and placing your data or your entries according to that. So using supply and demand is really good, but when you've also got secondary tools to back up what your TA is saying, it gives you a lot more peace of mind when setting those buys or those entry levels, that it's a good chance that they'll be tagged.
Absolutely, and it's really evident, and I'll tell you why. Because not only what Ty did mention, oops, if I zoom back out a bit, we actually have dipped below this liquidity area. So we've been trending or trading below this liquidity area for about 2 days, since the 10th, so 4 days now. And we are actually retesting that zone now. So we've dipped below, we are retesting that area of liquidity at the moment. If we do have that break and a rejection, there's not much holding it back, as Ty did mention, until our level of demand down here. So it is a good play to look down towards that 41, 42 area, in my opinion, still. But even if we zoom out to the daily time frame, as I did speak a little bit about yesterday, we are still seeing, if we are, to move more towards the downside, that 40,000 area, or even down towards 38K, is going to be the most relevant zone. And we do especially have, the RSI and the steamroller indicator to back that up for a further move to the downside, if we are going to see one on a higher time frame. But of course, we do play by play here. We look at the 4-hour time frame. We don't look too far ahead on the updates to give you guys more up-to-date content. So just to reiterate, of course, the 42.41 is where we're looking for the immediate term, Ty.
Yes, sir. All in agreement. Yes. All right, should we move on to F? Yes. Let's have a little bit of a look. And one good thing that would come of BTC being in a range here would be that alts would start to flourish a little bit, or we'll continue to see the upside moves that we have seen over the last month, 6 weeks or so, or something like that. So when BTC moves too volatile to either side, it'll typically drag the alts with it, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But if BTC can sort of stick between this, let's say, this 40-ish to 45K range, it would be great for alts.
Absolutely. Any sort of, just cooling off period for BTC is always good for the alts. So totally. Something you should keep an eye out.
Yeah. All right. F, moving on to F, it would be the similar story to BTC. They'll often follow each other's movements. I still am not overly confident in too many dramatic upside moves for F at the moment, Ads. And I think where you've got your demand there and a retest potentially of like this wick here, or at least in this zone, because we're still making a descending structure. We're not making any higher highs. We're in fact making lower highs and lower lows. So until we get a confirmed breakout, perhaps, and a retest and move back up towards this area around 3.9, I'm kind of the mind that we'll continue making a descending structure. We're not seeing a whole heap of volume coming in anymore at the moment, and this area looks pretty good to me. So as Ads has rightfully got drawn up here, I've already got my buy set around this area. And typically, if I see a demand area, say if the demand might be between sort of like 24 and 25.30 or something like what you see on the demand zone, I'll often set my buy about 10 or 15 bucks higher than the top of this demand zone, just in case you get any wicks like this where you don't get buys within the relevant area. I'll set them just a little bit higher. So I'm happy to lose out on a couple of bucks if I know that I actually get an entry as opposed to no entry at all.
Absolutely, and I couldn't have put it better myself. Of course, we are looking at the descending structure and that level of demand. So not much more to add besides that. We did speak about this last night, and of course, Ty put it perfectly.
Beautiful. Ultimate for myself, there's a couple of we'll have a look at maybe LTC or XRP if you want to have a quick squiz as. But for myself, really the only alts that I'm looking at the moment, I've still got some pretty hefty buys set on FTT. There's some rumors getting around about an exchange hack through FTX. 45,000 BTC was being discussed today by one of our sleuths. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is. I'm cautious on being too aggressive with FTT just in case this negative information gets out about FTX. I don't believe it would be true, to be honest, but you can never be too sure. So have just lessened my buys a little bit. DOT is absolutely one that I'm looking at and have been trading a little bit through this. It's still seeing quite a good bit of strength. And Tezos as well is moving quite well, and Link. So those are really the only four that I'm looking at the moment. But looking at Litecoin, that was interesting. We had that really big wick this morning after it was reported falsely, mind you, that Walmart and LTC had signed an agreement where LTC was going to be used as a currency. And very quickly, Walmart came out on Twitter and said, as Litecoin did, saying that there was no merit in the rumor. So that huge wick that you can see there was the result of that. Wow. So you can imagine how many people would have been jumping on that right at the very top and just getting absolutely wrecked. So we had one candle down and two bombs to bring it all the way back to where it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect for anyone who had and that's the beauty of if you've already got an entry and you've set your take profit levels, someone would have probably sold the top of that and done pretty well for themselves.
Absolutely, not a bad play. From when it closed, 34%. Nothing to sneeze at. Not bad. Not bad for one candle, anyway. Well, LTC not doing a whole lot. The volume is pretty dismal, to be honest with you, and we're just moving to the right-hand side. So we can probably reiterate what we sit on Ethereum, as we did have a more relevant level of supply up the top there, and I will draw that in. I will ignore that wick to the right hand side though, but we're really sitting in between two levels of supply and demand. We have created this level of supply. We haven't yet retested that level of demand down the bottom there, so more than likely that's going to be the area that will be tested initially before probably looking back up to that $225, $230 mark for LTC. But it doesn't hurt to DCA, of course. We are looking at a fair amount of liquidity where we are standing, and if I was trading this, I am just full transparency, I'm not trading LTC currently, but if I was trading this, I'd be looking at the more relevant or lower time frame levels of demand that are running across the chart at the moment, and you could probably draw this one on a 4-hour time frame as well, which would be roughly in this instance, and there you have the liquidity. That's where it's been bouncing off. But if we are to come and retest, move through this level, I think that $155, $160 mark is probably going to be where Litecoin will end up in the immediate term. Yep, pretty much of the same mind there. This, if you are a small time frame trader though, like that range between really 185 and kind of like 170 has just been an absolute day trader or scalper's dream. As for BTC as well, it's just beautifully sat within that area. So yeah, in terms of the slightly higher time frames, really the only thing going for LTC on a daily time frame at the moment is the fact that it sits above the 200 MA and the MA cluster, where conversely for the 4 hour it's doing the opposite. So a lot of resistance locally, I guess, at that sort of 185, 190 level. Not a whole bunch of structure holding that back, but I would want to see a confident close above sort of $200 if I was going to consider an entry back up towards that 222, 225 area. And then the same thing again, we're seeing a little bit of support around that 170, 172 level, but which is that relevant demand. But as we know with demand zones, there's only so many times it can be punched before it starts to break down. So
we'll just continue watching on this. Again, as I said beforehand, I'm kind of happy just to wait to get a confirmation on direction before going too crazy on entries. But at the minute, of course, as we said, DCA your way down and hold on.
Absolutely. Well, we are sitting at around 15 minutes now, so I think that will conclude our update for this evening. Ty, if there is anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it. Thank you so much to all of our Gravy Train private beta tester guys or people who signed up for the free run on Gravy Train. That was a lot of fun setting those alerts and getting a lot of good calls from that in the last couple of weeks. So thank you to all those guys. We might do that again in the future. But everything we do, unitytradinggroup.com, come into the Discord. Everything we do is free. Let's trade and have a bit of fun.
Absolutely, guys. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.